on Thursday, and it is 5:35. It's about to be 5:35 in the morning. I am drinking my coffee, and as you can tell, I am already dressed because around 6:10, 6:15, I do have to head out because I have my first blood work for this IVF cycle. And like I told you guys in the last video, it has all been a blur, and therefore I have not even had the actual time to sit down, crunch the numbers, and just basically go over everything that we have spent this cycle. I do have all the numbers, including the final amounts that I will be paying for medication. I do have to point out that while last IVF cycle for medications we pay about, I want to say out of pocket we paid probably about $900. This time around we did have to change medications, and also the majority of meds is being covered out of pocket, so therefore the amounts will be a lot higher. So I'm gonna go ahead and drink my coffee. And yes, don't worry, I talked to my doctor. I can drink a cup of coffee, it's not going to do anything for me. We are just measuring my hormone levels via blood, or through my blood, and my LH levels, so I can drink a coffee. It's not going to affect me because we're not measuring sugars. So just before you jump into conclusions, because I know some of you like to jump into conclusions before time. Just say. Way to the doctor's office already. It is 6:30 and it is heavy traffic. I think I should have left a little bit earlier than 6:30, but whatever. We'll hopefully make there. Okay, or I should say, I just pulled up to the doctor's office. So let me go ahead and get down, start walking up, because I do not want to wait till the last minute. I want to see if I can get in and out, since all I have to do is blood work. So all those of you that have been following know that this for me is the walk of horror, but let's see what we can get out of today's appointment. Ooh. I just went into the doctor's office. I got my blood work done, and now I am on my way home. So I'll see you in the car. Okay, and I am home. So as I had said previously, I was at the doctor's office for a blood work and ultrasound for IVF cycle number 2. And I had said that I wanted to go over or financial responsibility for cycle number 2. Now we do have all the numbers up to retrieval time, or up to medications, and I will probably, yeah, so and then on top of that, I will probably say we need to add about another $500 when it comes down to retrieval fee. Or let me go ahead and explain to you guys. So previously on cycle number 1, we spent a grand total of $7,555 with 28 cents, and that was all out of pocket. That was through the insurance. So we did have a big portion of that. That was our responsibility. So, and then cycle number 1 ended back in October 13 of 2025. We started cycle number 2, or the first consultation for cycle number 2 was November 13. Then we proceeded to go ahead and have a first appointment on January 7 for the consultation of exactly how much it was going to be for cycle number 2. And then we had to stop at that time because there was an issue with the insurance, since we're going through the insurance, which honestly speaking at this point might as well not have gone through anything. But you know, I'm just going ahead and give you a breakdown from every single fee and all the expenses for the vacation. Now, mind you, on cycle number 2, there are a few things that I won't be doing from cycle number 1 because those steps have already been completed, and cycle number 1 was our first try, so bear with me. Okay, so for cycle number 2, I want to start with our first consultation was on November 13, and that was to go over the plan for cycle number 2, and the doctor billed the insurance $190, and I had to pay $11. So for the financial consultation on January 7, I did not get charged because there was an issue with the insurance, so therefore that was a free visit. So lucky me. So then around March the 5th, we had, after we were able to sort everything out, we did get our fee for cycle number 2, and that was $23,000. Out of the $23,000, I had to pay out of pocket $2,510, which it is nothing compared to the actual amount that they billed the insurance. Now, here is where the things get a little serious, since everything else that is going to be being explained, it is going to be mainly out of pocket. So, and that is mainly all medications. So I did have to do a testosterone gel once again, which I am currently on, and that was $153.08. Unfortunately, that was not covered by insurance, so that was a full out-of-pocket expense. Also, I did have to get Pregnate OPKs once again, and that was $20. I got that on Amazon. Of course, then we have the cetrotide acetate or cetrorelix or whatever you want to call it. Cetrotide is what I got prescribed, and that did go through the insurance. That was $2,614.96, and I only paid $50. And we also got the clomid citrate, which it was billed to the insurance. It was $77.82, and luckily I was able to pay only $39. Now, the rest of the meds, this is for the stims, so stimulation period, and I will be starting those sometime next week. I'm still waiting on a call. However, I went ahead already and I paid for them out of pocket because regardless, the majority of them are not covered by my insurance because I already reached my limit when it comes down to medications. Okay, so this time around, my doctor also ordered me Omnitrope. Unfortunately, that is not covered by insurance, and it was a 30-day supply, and that was $1,018.09, which it was a full amount out of pocket. Also, my doctor, once again, she ordered the low-dose HCG, which is not covered by insurance due to being a compound medication, and that was $299.01. And for the trigger shots, we went ahead again with the Leuprolide kit, which it was billed to the insurance $559.31, and I paid $50 for it. And the Pregno, which is another trigger shot, it was billed to the insurance $214, and I had a $50 copay, so I paid $100 for that. And last but not least, which was our biggest expense, it was the Gono F, which sadly, because I already reached my limit with medications through the insurance, it was $17,388.72, and we ended up paying $3,024, and that was because we were able to use the TrumpRx code for the GONOF, which it was fantastic because it brought our total down from $17,000 to $3,000, which is a big and major savings. Okay, and I'm back. So far out of pocket for this cycle, we are looking at $7,304.18. And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and add an additional $500 to $600 for stimulation appointments, and also for the retrieval itself, for the anesthesiologist and all of that. So that is probably another $500 to $600, which it will bring our total just for the retrieval and stimulations period to about $7,904 out of pocket. So as of right now, without including the $500 to $600 for stimulation and retrieval, between cycle number 1 and cycle number 2, we have spent a total of $14,859.46. And once we add that $500 to $600, I'm sorry, my girls keep barging into my office like they pay rent here. I don't know why. But so like I was saying, we have paid between cycle number 1 and cycle number 2. So far out of pocket, we have paid $14,859.46, and that is in a literal 9-month period. That is how long we have been doing IVF for. If we add the $500 to $600, we are looking at a little bit over $15,000. And as much as we want to try for baby number 4, we are calling it quits after cycle number 2, but we are hoping for the best this time around, because if you do the math, $15,000, which is basically how much we have spent, we are $140 short of $15,000. It is a lot of money. It is an insane amount of money, and we don't feel like we want to keep spending that much money and not being able to even get an embryo. You guys know that we do have 3 kids already, and we are trying and we are doing our best for baby number 4, hoping for the best. But sadly, IVF has put us in a financial stand that it is really hard to recover from, and we are just giving it a one last try. My husband and I have decided that if after we do the retrieval, sadly we do not have any embryos viable for transfer, we will be calling it quits. But in the meantime, let's hope for the best, because that is exactly what we are doing. I know that this time around I have not been able to blog as much as I want to, but literally everything has been a complete blur when it comes down to how fast everything has happened. Mind you, we started the process in November. We didn't get our next appointment until January, and then after January, everything has happened within the past 2 weeks. So I really have had no chance to whip out the camera and blog and just be like, we're doing this today and we're doing that today and today we're doing this, because I have not had time for that. But yeah, so I will try to make everything more seen, I guess, or I'll try to blog everything a little bit more now that I do have a schedule, and our schedule plan starts next week. When it comes down to medications, our physical, the STIMS visit and all of that, that starts next week. So I will try to keep you guys on the loop, so that you guys know and see our process. Like I said, during cycle number 1, I want to be as transparent as possible, and that is exactly what I am doing by blogging this. I could have skipped, or I could have chosen not to blog cycle number 1, or cycle number 2, better yet, because I did blog everything in cycle number 1 and I put it out there. But I could have chosen not to do cycle number 2, but here I am, keeping it 100% transparent and being 100% honest and real. I don't have to hide from anybody when it comes down to what we are doing. It's just that I have not had time, because everything has happened so fast that the past 2 weeks has been an insane amount of crazy. Mind you, we went from appeal to appeal to appeal, from them saying no, multiple times no, to them saying yes, and everything happening extremely fast. So, I don't think that I will do a second financial update. Maybe once we do the retrieval, if we get as far as getting at least 1 embryo and we get to do a transfer. Once I get that financial part, which it will all be out of pocket, I will let you guys know exactly how that is going. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, and I will see you guys next week for the IVF cycle number 2 physical. So bye guys.